Guys ready?
Yeah.
Probably.
I hope
Who
so.
wants-
The stream has started.
The stream
Who
has
wants
already
to be
started.
the unfortunate summary person?
The unfortunate summary person? That sounds like a job for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe last time we started in the inn as always. Leafy went back to work more on the thing. We went to get our costumes, but the two Meepo and Jin got distracted by a large explosion, so Ryvearain went to get the clothes alone. The explosion turned out to be Hakai, who was doing something, and then shooed the two away back to the place. I believe then we went to the auditions, and we auditioned. Who went first again?
I
Yeah.
think me or Ryvearain went first. One of those two.
I think what happened was Meepo went first, and Meepo did a pretty good performance. That's the word. Correct. Performance. Ryvearain went second and gave apparently an astounding performance. And then Jin walked up, and they were pretty evenly divided on whether or not his performance was good. So we'll see how that turns out. Then everyone went their separate ways to go have afternoon activities, and I believe that was it. So how poor was that summary?
It
Well,
covered a lot more than I thought it would. The only thing we're missing is the
don't forget,
whole,
Meepo has a boyfriend now, and Leafy has a girlfriend now. That's what you forgot about.
I forgot about that. There were some important bits in those afternoon activities.
Yeah. Meepo got stabbed a bunch.
Oh yeah.
He's still at 9 health.
Jin cut a wave in two.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's some Naruto stuff.
Okay, well, that is a lot. And so, we pick up our day once more at the inn, as we always do. At slightly earlier than noon, because for once you actually had someone come to wake you all up.
Wow.
It's your horribly inconsistent buddy, Hakai.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Wow.
The others finally wake up before noon.
Wow.
It's like 10, it's not that early.
Greetings, friend Hakai.
Guys, wake up, wake up.
He starts slapping you.
He probably is lightly slapping them, with the exception of Ryvearain.
Oh.
And the exception of Jin, who'd already be awake. Jin and Leafy both wake up early, actually.
True.
So pretty much he's just slapping Meepo.
Well.
Ryvearain is sitting there, slightly dazed, kind of blinking their eyes a bunch.
Some of bits of Meepo are still sensitive from being stabbed a whole bunch, so when he gets slapped a little bit, he's like, I wish you wouldn't do that.
Oh. Oops. Light pats.
Meepo's like, that's better, and he rolls over to go back to sleep.
Well, I guess.
Jin picks him up by a scruff of his neck.
He blinks his eyes open and looks at you and goes, good morning. Why you do this?
Because I have your scripts.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yes. Here are thy scripts, and I also have an errand if you want to join me.
Meepo takes his script, and I imagine it's still, like, dangling by the scruff of his neck in, like, Jin's hand. And it's just like, what's the errand? What's happening?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Meepo's kind of like swinging around in a circle.
Yeah.
Ryvearain,
Oh, no.
He's not, like,
Ryvearain,
struggling at all. He's just there.
yeah.
So, we had a puppeteer. And apparently, someone decided it'd be really funny to sneak in and smash a couple of their puppets before the festivities start this afternoon. So, I need to find people to go and get sap.
What does sap have to do with puppets?
For whatever reason, this guy really likes using this one particular type of sap in order to fix his puppet. And I need more hands, because I don't have enough hands to carry the amount he needs.
I would love to tag along with this errand.
Marvelous! Looks to the rest of you guys expectantly.
Ryvearain is squinting really hard at their script, and they say, "Why did you wake me up so early? I can't read this in this darkness."
You say as like there's lights flooding through the windows.
Hakai just looks at you in confusion. What are you talking about? This isn't darkness. Pats you on the head.
Ryvearain goes, "Oh no, I think we may have a problem."
I do have a question for you. Do you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision, but I also blinded myself last session
How did you blind yourself again?
by staring at the sunset for too long. Sun/sunset.
How
You
long
said
did
it
we
would-
say that this lasted?
You said it lasted half a day, and I interpret that to mean half of this day.
I was going to include the 8 hours. They were the assumed 8 hours in which a person sleeps.
I guess that counts, but that's still 4 hours I'm blind.
Well, we regard you with great concern. So, does anybody have a thing to fix that issue for the small one?
Prestidigitation wouldn't help.
No.
And color spray would only make him more blind. Scorching ray would probably also not help. So I don't think I can.
I don't think I can medical check my own eyes. I'm not sure that's a thing I can do.
You totally could.
Maybe that could help.
You could also employ some help from other people, but I'm not going to stop you if you want to.
Nah, I'll just cling to someone's shoulder
Okay,
for dear life.
so we go.
I imagine I'm still holding Meepo, and I just kind of like sling him across my shoulder and start moving forward.
Yeah. You know,
So-
Jin, you'd probably have more hands if you put me down.
I drop you abruptly.
No.
Well, make a deck save.
Alright.
You
Wow.
land like a cat. It's perfectly fine. It was more than 3 feet off the ground.
More than
They
3
need a
feet,
clearance.
that's terrifying. I could
Rip-
die like that.
Ryvearain shouts, "Is Jin being mean again?"
Yes. You can't see it, but Meepo frowns a little bit.
Okay.
You're the one who didn't want to ride.
Oh well.
So,
So
who's the
we
leader
march
of
forward.
this? Because I don't want to lead you all.
I thought we were following
Um,
Hakai. Hakai's the one who
Yes.
knows where to go.
He does know where to go, but he has also openly declared he does not wish to be the leader of this and would like someone else to lead. He will give them
Well,
directions.
great Lord
Leave.
Meepo.
I believe that you should not elect the blind wizard.
I
Leafy
totally
would like
elect that.
Leafy would like to volunteer because as a follower of Sheila Peril, he's very familiar with nature. You might be able to locate the tree to get the sap from.
Hey, perfecto.
Nice.
So, after receiving very, very surprisingly detailed directions from Hakai, you guys leave the village and start making your way about southwestward from the path that leads out.
Okay.
So as you go, you eventually have to veer off the path, and it takes you to a surprisingly dense section of forest. Could I get
Survival?
survival or perception?
Okay.
Nah.
Oh yeah, Ryvearain is on top of someone, so you technically don't need. Okay.
I like how they rolled with disadvantage. It's fitting.
It is. So Ryvearain, you hear a lot of what's going on, and mostly what it is you're hearing a lot of the rustling of the greenery around you.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Meepo, as you look around, you're actually quite surprised by how dense this is. You wouldn't expect the forest to be this dense, especially relative to the areas that you've been before. And as for Leafy, Leafy, you're able to identify that most of these trees are in surprisingly good health. They are, however, oddly overgrown, which is a little bit unusual. But, I mean, the upside is, in a pinch, if you set something on fire, it would take a little while before it spread significantly far.
Alright, good to know.
Jin, you can get more or less the same idea. The only thing that you're kind of iffy about is maybe whether or not you would want to take shelter under these trees.
Okay.
But yes,
Shelters for weaklings.
to toss in his very unhelpful 2 cents, Hakai does let you all know that, wow, this really is overgrown. It really shouldn't be like this.
Wow.
I wonder
forest. Why. It really looks like a forest.
It does. Well, actually, no. It looks a bit more like a jungle. Not really a forest. This forest looks a bit like a jungle. Mutually similar, but not the same.
I wonder how much rain these plants have been getting.
That's a good question. It's been dry for like 2 days.
This is quite strange.
Yes, sorry. I was reading the next notes that I had.
I want to like kind of scoop down and like near the trees. I want to like dig up a little bit of the dirt to see if it seems like particularly full of nutrients or something.
Okay. Do you have nature at all?
No. I mean, I have a +3, but I'm not proficient in it. I just have survival.
Okay. I'll let you do a survival check then.
Thank you.
So you walk up to one of the significantly larger trees or thicker in the trunk trees, and you dig around the roots. The soil is fairly moist. It's obviously a fairly quality topsoil. You wouldn't say that there's anything particularly amiss. There doesn't seem to be any waste from animals, decomposition of any sort that is notable.
Does it make sense for
Outside
the
of
soil? Does it make sense for the soil to be this moist with how dry it's been?
No,
Okay.
it's relatively like normal moisture. Like the topmost layer is kind of dry. The further down you dig, it's a little bit more moist. But it's not like
So it's seemingly natural.
yes. Everything seems relatively normal outside of everything's a little bit more overgrown than it should be, given what is available to them. As you are doing this, all of a sudden, there is a cacophony of these clicking and rattling noises that kind of sound around you. Could I get a perception check from anyone with at least 1 point of corruption?
Okay,
Ooh, that's
and
me.
does this rely on sound?
It can if you want to specifically focus in on
Because
sound.
I have heightened senses if it relies on hearing or smell.
I mean,
Because
I
of
don't.
Blood Hunter?
Yeah, well, specifically because I'm a lycanthrope.
Oh.
I'm going to say in this case, no, that's not really something that is focused on.
Okay.
Uh.
Nah. I needed it to be.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay. We have 3 people with corruption points?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry, I didn't remember this.
I don't remember how it triggered for Ryvearain, but I remember Meepo triggered it because by eating a fucking gem.
I
It
think
triggered for Ryvearain because he tried to enchant something. They.
Oh yeah, Ryvearain
But-
did. Oh yeah, Ryvearain did try to figure out how to like enchant some of the dust or whatever, and it backfired severely.
yeah.
Yep. For everybody else. Well, that's basically just Leafy, so I guess Leafy also roll a perception check at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's unexpected.
So our best roll was a 14.
With
Yep.
disadvantage.
So for Ryvearain and Meepo, how do I misread this? So for Ryvearain and Meepo, as you guys look around, you actually start feeling a particular tug, and you actually look. There appears to be this very well hidden pathway that just leads very much through part of the thicket. It's a little bit denser further down, so it's hard for the light to come through, so it's kind of shadowed out. In the case of Jin, as this cacophony goes off, you kind of perk up and you're like, okay, what the heck is that? As you look around, you feel that there's something nearby. You're not entirely sure what, but there's definitely something nearby.
Okay.
Leafy.
Shit.
Yes.
As you look about, you see that in the branches of the trees and even a little bit around the ground, there are these interesting little oddly fungus-like creatures, whose like a mushroom whose cap spots kind of resemble a bit of a face, and they kind of seem to be peering up at you guys. It's very curious as to what you're doing. You could assume that the rattling is maybe coming from them, as there's not particularly strong wind. Are people
fascinating. I've never seen fungus like this before.
Oh dear. But yes. Would anyone like to make any checks regarding these creatures?
Well, I can't see them, so I don't think I can make a check.
Can I try to?
Do you want to make an Arcana check just to see if you feel them?
I could do that. Let me see if I can feel them with my Arcana.
Is Arcana
Is
the
that
only
a-
check or the other options?
Hmm?
Is Arcana the only option or the other?
No,
options?
there's other options.
My
There's-
Arcana wouldn't be a disadvantage, right? That doesn't rely on sight at all, does it?
Yeah, no, it's normal. You can make quite a few other checks. This is just an example of what you could do.
Well, I suppose there's like nature, like religion. Survival.
I
maybe-
wouldn't say survival,
Well,
just because
Could
doesn't.
could I
super
potentially do like a perception check in the sense of seeing if they smell familiar to me? Like if they smell
Sure.
like other sorts of creatures? Or smell? I don't know.
Sure. In your case, because tracking is technically survival, you could roll survival on that. So yeah,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
was wanting perception to try to smell it for the sake of my
The,
heightened senses.
Sure. That's fine.
oh
Damn.
my.
I am rolling terribly.
What? Well,
Nothing else is new.
I'm gonna take care of river range just because that's fairly high. You reach out with your senses a little bit, just to kind of try to figure out what everyone else is maybe seeing, especially with all the rattling and clicking that's going on. And what you feel is a very dense group of some kind of magical signature. The closest you would describe the feeling is kind of a wild druid-like magic. It's very plant-based, very earthy,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels relatively peaceful except for this little thing. It twinges at you. You're not sure why, but it's very far away, especially down down towards the direction that I described earlier. It twinges at you. You're not entirely sure why, but there's just something about it that's oddly familiar, but at the same time a little unnerving.
Interesting.
In the case of Jin, you kind of describe how you are conducting this check.
I was imagining it as like I'm kind of like letting some of my wolf senses take over, and I was trying to like close my eyes and take like a good smell of the air around me. You know, kind of like how a wolf tries to.
He was taking a big sniff.
I guess, yes, basically.
Yeah.
I was thinking like thinking like Big B Wolf style.
I'm sorry, what now?
I was thinking like Big B Wolf style from The Wolf Among Us.
Okay. That's all right. As you take a deep inhale, you smell mostly dirt, green, grass, a lot of nature smells. But there's this faint little. Have I described? Have I actually put a description to what magic smells like at all?
What
In any
does magic
event-
smell like?
Okay. Sometimes I do, so I have to keep track of which campaigns I do that in and which I don't. And the most interesting prickle of what you would say, it smells like rainwater, like fresh rainwater, but there's a prickle and spice behind it of some kind that you almost can't put a name to.
Okay.
For you, this translates as, yes, these creatures are clearly magical, but they aren't really.
Literally smell the magic on people. Amazing.
All right.
Listen,
I love it.
there's some random things that have smells. I might as well make this fun.
I love the idea that I can just smell magic now. That's cool.
All right. So,
Keep in mind, you are literally in the middle of like a bunch of these. A couple of them
Okay.
are actually wandering closer, wondering if they can like poke and prod at you.
That's probably not a good idea.
Could Leafy make a religion check to see if he knows about these shrooms somehow from his scriptures?
Sure.
Whoa.
oh, nice.
Everyone besides
Hey.
me can roll well tonight.
As you take a look at them, something kind of clicks, and they seem to remind you of these descriptions of these little guardians of forests. Your first thought is, well, maybe they're just dryads, but that doesn't really match the normal descriptor of a dryad. As one, they're clearly not feminine in form, and two, they don't really seem to be talking in any relatable language that you can think of, just oddly clicking and rattling at you. One of them actually walks up
Too bad
and
animals are goods.
pats you on the foot. Does anyone wish to attempt to stop it, or it walks up with the intention to pat you on the foot?
No, I don't think they have any malicious intent. So I believe we should allow them to act as they do.
Okay,
Can
well,
I make an insight check on what my character thinks their intentions are?
yes, you may.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go. Finally.
Hey!
Finally.
Hey! So, as you stare at them, despite their obvious lack of recognizable facial features, you get the feeling that they're not inherently harmful. They're just kind of curious, especially as they keep kind of trying to circle around but not get too close. Occasionally, you have one dart in a little bit closer than the others, but a dart back out, and then the one really brave one who's currently messing with the tree. With Leafy's, oh my goodness, with Leafy's foot, and they're just kind of inspecting it, poking and prodding at it.
They kind of make me think of Leshies from Pathfinder.
Interesting.
Hello, little buddy.
Nuh.
The one that you're attempting to interact with you looks up at you, clicks and rattles a little bit. You can actually see it shaking its frame before immediately hopping up onto your foot and like trying to climb you.
Leafy allows this.
Hakai actually looks at you guys with a little bit of curiosity and is like, well, are you gonna leave them some gifts?
Gifts?
Upon hearing this idea, can Meepo make a perception check to see if there's any really cool rocks in the area?
Sure.
Meepo, Master of Vox.
Isn't Meepo a hoarder?
Well, yeah.
But then again, use of
Well,
an item is an item.
Yeah.
So
You look around. There's no rock that particularly stands out to you. There's a couple that are like just kind of there, like they're bigger than normal than the surrounding rocks, but no particularly cool rock that would stand out.
Can you describe to me what these things look like again?
They're kind of fungusy mushroom looking, but the spots on their caps kind of resemble a human face.
I would like to leave them. Give me a second. Is it still in my inventory? I would like to leave them my shrunken hockey stick.
You wish to leave them the shrunken hockey stick?
I would like to teach them the joys of hockey.
Alright. How are you going to leave them this, considering you are sitting on someone's shoulder?
I would like to carefully climb down. I assume that I've been on Leafy this whole time, because he's the one I most trust with having no sight. So I slip down his body, and I would like to gently attempt to place the hockey stick on the ground in front of the fungus people.
Okay. Anybody else wish to do anything? You more or less pass. You more or less managed to succeed. It takes a hot second because you are blinded, but it's not particularly difficult. What would be difficult is getting back up.
Well, I can fly, and they can help.
Yeah.
So
I
Leafy would like to try taking out a stick of incense and offering it to the fungus who's climbing up him.
How exactly do you offer it to him?
Well, he takes it out with one hand and holds it in front of them to see if he'll grab it with one of his hands.
The fungus that's currently climbing up you, it's reached about,
Fuck.
you'd say, like mid-thigh level,
I'm trying to remove this from my inventory.
and it looks at you. It definitely does something that looks as if it's looking at you. And you see movement in the cap until one of its tiny little hands reaches out and barely circles around the incense stick that you attempt. It makes more of that clicking, rattling noise and immediately just kind of drops. Like it just lets go and drops and flops on the ground before rolling over and running back to its buddies, waving the stick with what you assume to be great abandon.
Okay.
Well, I don't have much to offer them, so let's see if the little shiny people like shiny. Let's see if the little fungus people like shiny things. I'll give them a silver piece.
How do you give this to them?
I guess I just place it on the ground, like a little bit in front of them, and like take a step back, then see if they take it.
The ones that are closer all hurriedly like swarm around it, like they're inspecting it, like unswarm, and then the like smallest one among them picks it up and seems to have laid claim to it and walks away.
Yeah, I guess I like shiny things.
They do like shiny things, don't they?
Yep.
I think Meepo wants to pick up one of the rocks, and he has a small knife. Can he carve a smiley face into the rock and then give it to them? He doesn't want to use like his daggers for it because
You have a small knife?
yeah, it's in my inventory. I also have the 2 daggers.
I mean, sure. Roll
better
a
yet.
flat success for how well the smiley face turns out.
Let's see, it's /R 1d20. That's not it. R/?
It's /R.
It's /R 1d20.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh.
So as you attempt to carve it in, you realize this rock might be tougher than your knife. And so you barely even get a little dent in. Your knife is a little bit dulled for its troubles.
Why don't you use prestidigitation to make it shiny?
Because that wears off after a while. And I don't want them to be like, yay, here's a blue rock, and then it fade away, and they're like, we've been duped.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So,
I forgot it technically has a time limit.
yeah, realizing that the rock is tougher than the knife, Meepo's like, see? It's a great rock. Nice, durable, hefty, strong. All very admirable qualities. And hands it very gently to the mushroom people.
I assume you walk closer to them?
Yes. I walk up a little closer to them.
Okay, as you walk up a little closer, they actually back away from you.
Oh,
And they're just
no.
like, nope.
Hmm.
Nope.
Are they responding to me or the rock?
Who knows?
Who knows? But as you walk closer, they just kind of, like, that one side of the circle just goes shloop. Like, there's a tiny little indent there.
Hmm.
Huh.
But they're all still, like, clicking and rattling, and still fairly non-hostile.
Okay.
All right. Well, we do have a direction to head in. Ryvearain points vaguely in the direction of the thicket and says, "I think I can feel something weird up ahead. Not really sure what it is, though."
Does anyone else sense this strange thing?
If he points out the direction he feels it, can I see if I can focus my senses that way?
Sure. Just give me a roll plus perception.
Okay. Oh, give me a break.
Sorry. I meant to say roll plus proficiency. So you can re-roll that since I gave you the wrong directions.
There we go.
There you go. As long as it's not perception, you seem to be doing fine.
Ironic. I'm half wolf and I can't. Well, what? Actually,
You
how
don't
does that
wolf
work?
well.
I'm a half elf who's half wolf. How does that work? Anyways.
You got
well-
three. You got three halves. You're half elf, half wolf, half man.
Nice.
It's either that or whichever elf this is had a very fun time with some wolves. Anyways.
I'm half elf, not half human.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, bad jokes aside, as you focus in your senses, you actually do feel something kind of tugging you that way. You're not really sure. It doesn't feel the same as, like, a corrupted creature, but you definitely feel a tug.
Okay, I will. In response to Leafy asking if anyone else feels it, I will agree with Ryvearain.
Well,
I see. I think the only course of action we should take is to go check it out.
Sounds like a good idea to me. And I attempt to fly in the vague direction of Leafy's voice.
Runs immediately into like a tree branch.
you know, roll 1d20. We'll see where you end up.
You're welcome.
I love the antics.
Hey.
Hey, you do manage to successfully find Leafy. It's a little bit of a struggle to get to his shoulder. As I think about this, you more so like fly into his head and face a couple times before you finally figure out where the shoulder is.
I see, I'm a moth.
Those are some impressive skills, my
You
friend.
thought you were a butterfly. You were a moth all along.
But you know, we get there. We get there eventually.
I'm sorry, sight is pretty important. I realize this now.
I mean, at least I didn't make you roll a disadvantage. So, Hakai regards you all as like, so we're going that away? Gestures in the vague direction you guys have been pointing to.
Indeed, unless we have any objections.
Considering you're the leader, I don't think so.
Alright, then let's start off.
You have taken over Meepo's job.
Well, of course, he is the messenger of God.
Indeed. We now have two messengers of the gods.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a question of which gods are they messengers for.
Indeed.
So as you guys continue along, you do notice that it's beginning to get denser and denser. Wow, English. The foliage around you continues to actually get denser and denser. You can make nature checks if you want, nature and survival checks. and generalized perception checks if you don't really want to know too much about the foliage.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
How am I gonna handle that one? Okay. Jin, what exactly are you wanting to make a survival check on?
I was curious if I guess I was just generally curious about the foliage that was actually I guess I was more so trying to make sure I was staying on the right path is what I was doing.
Okay. For you, you're still going in the right direction. What does stand out to you, though, is how quiet it's been. It's been oddly quiet.
If I was transformed, my ears would be twitching right now.
Leafy, that's kind of all you notice, really, when it comes for Leafy. You do notice it's a lot quieter, and the air is very still. The only real noise is coming from kind of the party, and the rustles and snapping of branches and whatnot that we're making as we go through. Ryvearain. That's you're also kind of getting this, but you're also getting I'm not sure how to describe this one because this one's a little difficult since you are blind.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
I'm trying to figure out how to describe this because you are blind, and so it's like, what is relevant given how high your roll is. So
Yeah,
you do hear that the wildlife almost seemingly doesn't exist, but you know it's there. Like, you know it's there, but it's almost as if they're trying their hardest not to move or make a sound.
Well, that seems suspicious.
Oh, by the way, Sova, once I realized we were going into the forest, I would have used my Hemocraft I would have used my Crimson Right on my sword. Is it okay if I go ahead and roll for that? Because I would have done that before we even entered the forest.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I take 1 damage.
Doop-a-doop-doop.
That was just a light little prick.
Youch.
It pricked my finger on my sword, and it suddenly is glowing with electric energy.
Mild Meepo flashbacks.
Yeah.
Mild Meepo flashbacks. Unfortunate costuming.
It's
Well,
fine.
that's so scared of needles.
It's fine. I just poked myself with a sword instead of stabbing myself with a bunch of needles.
Yes, it's extremely different.
It's like, just lightly cut myself with a sword that's about twice as big as I am.
Okay. Hakai is confused, but he's probably in a state of constant confusion these days. Anyways, as you guys continue onward,
He's not drunk enough.
you actually realize that there's one little kodama. Blah blah blah. Wow, they're not called kodamas. I just have them labeled. The little reference picture I have is labeled that. You have one of the little mushroom critters. You realize is actually trailing behind you, and Ryvearain, you're the one who actually hears the clicking and rattling that it makes. It's a lot quieter, but it is trying to trail behind you guys, and in a way, it seems like it's trying to catch up. But it's also desperately avoiding the trees when originally you could actually, when you first saw them, they were actually in the trees and around the ground.
That is very suspicious. I don't like that.
Will you point this out to the rest of the party?
I would like to, as quietly as possible, because I can clearly tell that something is wrong. Everything's very quiet. I'm just gonna whisper in Leafy's ear, I think there might be something wrong with the trees.
What do you mean by that? Leafy whispers back.
I'm not sure. It's just a feeling I have.
Alright. Leafy whispers to the rest of the party. We should do our best to avoid the trees. Ryvearain is avoiding that they might be, or is perceiving that they might be dangerous.
Hey, Silva, does this area smell any different?
This area doesn't smell any different, at least not to you.
Okay.
The only thing that you would say is significantly different is that weird little prickling rain, fresh rainfall, spicy smell is gone.
It's gone. Okay. By the way, since the little guy seems to be struggling to try to catch up with us and avoid the trees, I would like stop and like offer like at my hand so I could climb up.
It immediately nopes out. It's like, nope.
Okay.
It backs up at least 5 feet from you.
Okay. I would. Must be because I'm corrupted. Okay. I pull back my hand and my character doesn't necessarily know it's part of the corruption, so I guess I just shrug and keep going forward.
Anybody else wish to attempt, or are we leaving the poor thing?
I mean, if my suspicions are right, Leafy is the only one who will actually feel comfortable with. Which is probably why
yeah.
one of them was climbing up Leafy's leg to begin with. He's the only one in the party not corrupted. Well, aside from Hakai, but Hakai's not a proper member of the party right now.
Leafy would like to try approaching the creature and see if he wants to travel with him.
It emits a little bit more of that clicking, rattling sound as you see it vibrate, and it does attempt to climb you. It does have to stop quite a few times more than the other one, so you get the feeling it's either A, tired, or B, older than the one that was trying to climb you earlier.
Okay.
As it attempts to do this, Hakai actually decides to pipe up and supply you with a very interesting tidbit. Huh. It seems to like you. It seems we're going to have good luck today.
What do you mean by that, Hakai?
He gestures to that creature. They're what you could call little forest guardians. They don't typically like to be awake right now, so something important must be going on for them to be awake.
I see.
Well, of course something important's going on. We're here.
Of course. The messengers of the gods always bring important news. Anyways, don't we have a direction to keep going in?
That's right. Maybe we'll discover what's so important that they're awake right now.
Perhaps.
Mayhaps. Mwahahahahaha. As you guys continue forward, it does become a little bit more difficult in order to get through everything. Who has a dex above 15?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Okay.
do.
Never mind. Despite how much the terrain has changed, it should in theory become more difficult, but we're having a pretty easy time.
Because we're
getting
awesome.
through it.
We just happen to be a high dex party.
This is going to be interesting if we ever have dex challenges. Eventually, you actually come across a really, wide open clearing, and everything's kind of surrounded in dim light with a singular tree in its center.
Well, that's suspicious.
If you want, mathematical measurements, the clearing is maybe about 30 feet across. And yeah, it's basically a radius of about 30 radius.
I wanna make an Arcana check on that tree.
So I'm being generous in this, but you might have to walk up a little closer because
You're right.
blindside only has 10 feet of range.
You're right. We should get closer. I would
Okay.
like to ask Leafy to bring me closer.
Alright, let's get closer.
I'm keeping an eye out to see if anything decides to try to jump out.
Alright, so Leafy and Ryvearain are getting closer. Are you also getting closer, Jen?
Yeah, I'll get closer as well.
Okay, Meepo?
I'll get closer. Why not?
Alright. The only person who's hanging back is Hakai. So, as you guys get closer, you actually see that your little fungus buddy has decided to jump ship and run back across to... At this point, they don't really have much of a choice, so they're just kind of huddling over with Hakai over there. And as you get closer, could I get a wisdom check from you guys?
Wisdom save?
Wisdom check.
Oh wait,
Wisdom check.
that's not a save. I'm sorry. I don't need a disadvantage on that, do I? I clicked
Is
the wrong.
there- No, you don't need a
Guess not, have it.
disadvantage on it.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong thing though, so let me click the right thing. There we go.
Okay.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna be generous and just take the top number.
Are you sure that's got a different modifier?
Okay, fine. I'll take the bottom number. So Ryvearain and Meepo,
Yeah.
you guys are like, well, this is perfectly fine. We should keep going. The other two, you suddenly get this kind of chill down your spine.
Well, I'm currently attached to a person who has common sense.
Can I want to try to grab, as soon as I sense something wrong, I want to try to grab Meepo by the scruff of the neck again to pick him up and stop him from continuing.
Okay, make a dex check. And then Meepo make a counter dex.
So acrobatics?
I wouldn't.
I don't think that's an acrobatics.
I would argue if you really wanted to, you can argue athletics. I don't think it's acrobatics. Okay, you can make an athletics check. Meepo, you can also make an athletics or just dex. You can also argue acrobatics if you really are going to try and finagle your way out of this hole.
I think it'd be funnier for Jin to just kind of pick me up and I keep moving my legs as if I'm walking and it takes me a second to realize
that
I'm not getting any closer. Wait, I'm moving away. Oh, jeez.
Okay, then I guess just a flat dex based on he might just mistime it.
Okay, flat dex.
Nope.
So, as you go, you actually manage to grab Meepo just barely in time by the scruff and go yoink.
Yoink.
Yes. You guys are maybe about 10 feet from the tree by about now.
Oh, I can make my Arcana check. Barely.
Yeah?
Let me make an attempt. I can attempt to see. Not see. Not that one. I can attempt to know. Feel?
Okay. As you kind of reach your senses out, you kind of feel like something also reaches out and you two kind of like touch and collide. And there's a interesting, like, it feels like a spark and then a pulling taunt of tension. You definitely wouldn't say it feels malevolent, but it doesn't feel like it particularly nice or safe either. If you were to really kind of describe it, you'd definitely say it's closer to a sorcerer's wild magic.
So probably...
Also, it feels very old.
Old, not malevolent, but not safe. So perhaps... I'm not really sure what to make of this.
Do you wish to let the others know? The others, while this is going on, do you wish to do anything?
I would like to inform... Hello, party. I would like to inform you that I feel a presence.
I guess I would have probably tried to do an Arcana check as well to see if I could sense anything while he was doing
Sure.
that.
Alright.
Oh, hey.
You also reach out, and as this also seems to kind of make a connection of some sort, instead of feeling that spark and tension that Ryvearain felt, yours is a distinct yank. Like a very distinct just yank towards it. But at the same time, you feel more so, it's a desperate yank. It's a desperate yank trying to pull you towards it, as if it doesn't quite have enough strength. But there's desperation in this. Also, you're beginning to pick up a distinctly almost chocolate smell. Anyone with a point of corruption is beginning to pick up a distinctly chocolate smell.
Huh.
Okay, then.
Can we use perception to see if we can glean any more information about said chocolate smell?
You may.
Okay. Perception. I just failed a roll using perception.
As you try to glean more information, for you've slowly gone noseblind to it.
Oh no.
So you smelled it, it was there, and then it's slowly fading away. In your case, Jin, as you sniff around for it, you notice that it's faint. Like it's not a particularly strong smell, but it's strengthening. So either A, whatever is giving off that smell is getting closer, or B, there's something going on that's causing this reaction to intensify.
Under normal circumstances, I would offer to fly closer because theoretically going by air would be slightly safer than the ground, but also I can't see right now. So that's a bad idea.
Could I get perception checks? And if you have anything based around hearing, you do get advantage.
Well, I don't think I have anything based
That
on
only applies
hearing.
to me.
I assume that I can just do a normal, no disadvantage check.
It's your eyes that are burned,
Yeah.
not your hearing.
Hey.
Hey.
Thankfully, this is not a very high thing. Is Meepo still here?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
Uh,
I thought that was from previously.
yes, that one was from previously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Meepo is basically going to cover everybody's, since it is a 20. All of a sudden, you guys can hear, like, a very loud stomping, clanging sound, and very distinctly, you can tell that it's the sound of a person in armor. And as you turn around, you actually see that there's a woman who's fully dressed in armor, as she angrily kind of stomps into the clearing and stops about midway between Hakai and you guys. So about 5 feet from you. She braces her stance, and she just kind of glares.
Is it
You
the
do
halfling?
also know...
Is that the armored halfling lady?
You don't know who this would be, character-wise.
Oh, right. Leafy is the only one who met that character. Never mind.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
She braces her stance, and you actually notice there's a distinct floral pattern across all of her armor.
Ooh, that's nice.
Can Leafy do a religion check to see if he recognizes it?
Yes, you can make that with advantage.
Oh.
So, as you give that armor critical eye, she actually starts demanding, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" And outside of one, that voice being extremely familiar, you notice that yes, these are the markings of Sheila the Praeol, and they're a little bit different. Apparently, you guys might not have studied under the same monastery, but they are definitely the same insignias, or they're meant to be similar insignias.
Ryvearain would like to shout back, "They're messengers of the gods, and we're collecting sap."
She narrows her eyes at you all and hisses, "Which gods?"
Hello, I recognize you. You
I never
are
asked.
I never asked.
the...
He pauses
You-
and regards you, Leafy, and is like, You're from that you're from that stage troupe the other day."
That's right. My name is Leafy, and I'm a messenger of the god Sheila Perry Royal.
Proof.
Leafy takes out his holy symbol and shows it to her. This is... I got this while I was studying in my monastery.
You see that she kind of relaxes just the slightest bit, but she doesn't completely stand down. Are you here for the same reason I am?
Unless you're here to gather some sap, then no.
She narrows her eyes even more and just like gives you a look that says, "Really? Really now?"
Now I'm starting to feel like a sap.
You're telling me that you can't tell what's going on here.
Nope.
There's
What
a
is
big-
going on here?
There's a big creepy tree there.
Well, at least one of you has sense. That tree's been taken over by something. I'm here to purify it. So either you help me or you get out.
Well, it is my mission as a messenger of the gods to cure corruption. So yes, I would like to help.
Oh boy, I've never seen a purification. Unless purification is code word for murder.
In which case, we've seen lots of that.
Yeah, it would, doesn't it? As this goes on, you actually hear a very distinct cackle from behind everything else. Hakai is very amused by all this. She ignores everybody else in favor of focusing strictly on Leafy and is like, "So, like I said, are you going to help me or get the hell out? Because I don't need distractions."
What do you mean, friend Hakai?
I'm sorry, wait, what?
No, that was the other one
That was the
talking.
girl.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Like, yes, I would like to help.
Alright. Everybody else, how do you feel about this?
Meepo goes, "I'd love to help, but you said you didn't want any distractions, and people call me very distracting."
I
Get
feel
out.
like
Meepo would do a walk of shame, but he's currently, like, on Jin's shoulder, so he just kind of looks sad.
Well, I feel like the easiest way to get sap is to slap that tree with a bunch of swords. So I believe that would be the best course of action.
You're going to purify the tree by stabbing it, is what I'm hearing, correct?
Well, we need sap. I don't know if this is the right kind of sap, but it'll probably be a kind of sap.
The guy looks at you, I was like, I did give you guys directions. This is not the right way, just by the by.
Oh, never mind.
Finally decides to tell you after you walked all the way here.
How nice of him.
And he just looks at you guys and is like, "So we're helping the kind lady, correct?"
Yes.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She regards him with distrust and turns to the rest of you all. That thing's with you?
I mean, yeah.
He hasn't let us down yet, except a lot of times.
Why the hell do you keep it then?
Very funny.
Because they're our friend.
Yeah.
Sure, fine, whatever. Anyways,
He's a good fighter.
if you're gonna help me, start drawing. She looks particularly at Leafy, expecting him to know what she's referring to.
Can he do a check to see if he knows what she's referring to?
Yes, you can do a religion check. You're not a spellcaster, correct?
No.
Then do so at a disadvantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
As you think about this, you're kind of like,
Wait,
As like a blood hunter, can I give it an attempt at disadvantage?
Sure.
I mean, I've
I'm a-
probably seen exorcisms or purifications a few times.
I would say this is an arcana check.
Oh, okay.
I
This is
am
still
a-
disadvantage.
Yeah, this would still be a disadvantage, because this is
Aw.
very specific.
okay, what about me?
Ryvearain?
Not exactly a local, though.
Well, I mean, she's not a local either, but you technically don't know that. I would say you could attempt an arcana check. It would still be a disadvantage
Yeah.
only because you don't know anything outside if she wants to purify the area.
That's right. Yep, that makes sense. Okay,
Hey,
so
you're the best.
not much better though.
Yeah.
I don't feel like joining in on this just to see.
Both my religion and arcana are pretty bad. So maybe I shouldn't help.
I mean, you can.
You're the great hero Meepo.
Exactly.
You always pull
Wait.
through.
Which gods? I never asked.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Um,
And Meepo doesn't even know because Meepo was kind of thrust upon this whole thing when they arrived.
yeah, like, everyone's like, a messenger from the gods, because he's like, oh, my mom was a dragon, so I guess he's the messenger of his mom?
Or what if he's the messenger of his mom's gods? We don't know.
Wow.
The only thing he knows is...
The only thing he knows is that he likes OJ.
He loves OJ. That's canon.
Yep. So are you gonna make a roll or not?
Do it.
I'm gonna jinx it and say, what's the worst that can happen? Do I make it with disadvantage because I don't know anything?
Yeah, this would still be a disadvantage.
Meepo believes in himself, and I don't believe in him.
Hey,
It
you're the
went
best.
away.
Hey.
So
Not
this
bad.
all averages into a pretty okay roll. And in my interpretation of that, that means you guys managed to finagle your way into a half-decent guess at just
Like we
what the hell she's referring to by putting all your heads together.
We just like all share a look.
Group huddle?
Yes, you guys all share a look. Hakai, being as wonderfully unhelpful as he likes to be, holds up the little spirit creature and points to its face.
We're making a face?
Thumbs up from behind the lady.
Wonderful.
She just looks at you all. It is like, you're saying we're making a face? For, you know what? Here. She hands you, she pulls a pouch from her belt, and she hands you what appears to be a very sturdy rod, and she directs each of you guys to draw a shape
Okay.
in a particular point of the clearing. It completely ignores Hakai. Just kind of leaves him to whatever the hell it is he's doing. Completely ignores him. and starts conducting an even more elaborate shape around the tree in particular as you guys work on yours. Could I get... I kind of want to say sleight of hand.
Oh, sweet, I'm great at sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Ryvearain, you are still at a disadvantage if you are doing this, unless you're passing it off to someone else.
Wait. Give me a second.
I accidentally did disadvantage, so I'll do it again.
It's fine, I'll just take the higher number. Okay, fine.
Okay, disadvantage.
11, 22.
Sleight of hand. Oh,
Oh.
come
Oof.
on. That's supposed to be one of the ones I'm good at.
Wait, is that a natural 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
God.
can tell
Oh
because it's red.
no.
Hmm?
You can tell because it's red.
Okay. So, I'm going to take care of everyone else, and then I'll take care of Ryvearain's. Jin, you managed to get it pretty okay. The lines are a little wobbly, but I mean,
I
it's
should have
dirt.
just used my sword instead.
Yeah, you contemplate this. And the more you contemplate this, the more you're kind of like, maybe I really should have used that sword. It will dull the blade slightly, but that's easy to fix. Leafy, this is oddly enough an old hat for you. You're so used to this because it's basically trained into you from the monastery. It wasn't trained for this exact purpose, but you nail it. Right on the head.
Sweet.
Meepo,
Meepo's just an
your
extra bonus.
charisma, everything. It is amazing. You are the great Meepo. You look at this challenge and you're like, I'm the great Meepo. And you do it. You just do it. No hesitation.
You believed in yourself. You made your dreams no longer be dreams.
Yes.
You made your dreams come true.
My memes are no longer dreams, you guys.
Oh dear. Ryvearain, you have the determination. You have the skill. You have everything that's needed, except the eyesight.
Also, I'm incredibly tiny. I don't know what you were expecting.
Well, you have everything that was needed, except the eyesight. And with this, you end up managing to draw a very successful self-portrait.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Everybody is confused. Nobody knows why it's there. But it's very nice.
Good job, Faye.
It's beautiful, isn't
Unfortunately,
it?
the armored woman is very pissed off. It's like, fix it, now!
Beautiful, isn't it? Unfortunately, I can't... Unfortunately, I don't have the eyesight to marvel my masterpiece.
Ooh, I have
Only
an
we
idea.
had cameras, guys.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Can Meepo, having finished his artistry, go over to Ryvearain, get a good look at his self-portrait, like commit it to memory for just long enough, so that way he could like prestidigitate a mark of it on the ground later to show him what it looks like?
We could, but because I am the type of DM I am, I would like for you to make a history roll.
Oh, he's bad at history.
I mean,
No!
the history is also an intelligence roll, so you could just roll intelligence if you really don't want history.
Let's
I
try
don't-
it.
Hey, it was better.
You know, a couple of details might get a little fuzzy later, but you managed to commit the important bits to memory.
Okay. And then, unfortunately, Gesundheit, right there in the dirt is where, another marking has to be drawn.
Yes.
Aw. Should Meepo help Ryvearain out?
Please do.
So,
Okay.
as you erase over Ryvearain's work with, I assume, some regret,
Yes, definitely a lot of regret.
With much regret, and you quickly execute it just so that this lady can probably be out of your hair. She looks at it, she looks everything over, looks at mild disappointment at Jin's and is like, really? And proceeds to attempt to shoo you all towards the edge of the clearing. Okay, now get so I can actually do my job.
Okay.
Very well.
As she turns around and goes about to do things, you guys move towards the edge of the camp and kind of, in a way, a meetup. Blah blah blah. In a way, Hakai meets up with you guys about halfway and then turns back around. Do you guys wish to watch the purification or no?
I would like to see how this purification goes.
So says the blind one.
I would like to feel how the air feels during the purification.
Meepo would also like to sit and watch.
Yes. And Leafy
Okay.
would also like to, because he's really into this shit.
Well, that's new.
There you go.
All right. Jin, are you sticking around? Are you huffing it?
Jin disgruntlingly sits down with the rest of them to make sure they don't get themselves killed if something goes wrong.
Okay. You guys turn to face the clearing, and she has sat herself down right in front of the tree, a hand pressed towards it. And you can't hear it, but you would guess that she's probably chanting something, as the air suddenly starts to, like, there's a shift in it. It's not as still as it was before. It feels like there's something there now. And slowly but surely, there's kind of this build-up of what feels like pressure and tension in the air, as well as movement, and slowly but surely, like, there's a gentle breeze that begins to blow through the area. As this is going on, the symbols that you drew actually start to glow, and they glow this very gentle, calming, like, very pale light green light that gets brighter and brighter. It doesn't reach a point of being painful, but it is fairly bright, especially if a person has dark vision. It is very significant to them. And as this is occurring, you suddenly feel something all of a sudden seem to compress inward towards the center of the circle. And could I get a... Yeah, I'll say dex check from everybody.
A dex check or a dex save?
Dex save, technically.
Oh, well, yeah, actually, disadvantage makes sense.
You can't really see it, so.
Okay.
that's
Jin and
bad.
Leafy just like jump up out of the way, like, oh fuck! Or whatever the hell happens.
Well, Meepo, I'm sorry, but that is a 1,
Yeah.
and for storytelling purposes, I'm doing this.
Yeah, go for it.
As you feel this pull towards the center, Meepo, you're suddenly knocked off your feet, and you just go skidding. Do you attempt to stop yourself?
Do I? Yeah, I attempt to.
Do you, like, turn around and, like, explain how you attempt to stop yourself?
Okay, so I get knocked off my feet as if someone had done a leg sweep on me, is what I'm imagining, right?
Sure.
Okay. Like, am I being blown back, or am I just trying to
You're
stop
being blown
myself?
towards the circle, I think.
Yeah, you're being drawn, like, literally being yanked forward into the tree.
Being pulled into the circle.
If I see
Yeah.
that happen, can I also try to grab Meepo?
We'll see. I want to see how Meepo describes this before I go any further.
Okay.
Meepo, having been essentially leg swept towards the circle, kind of half turns in midair, so that way he can try and grab the ground where he was just standing a second ago, so he doesn't get vortexed into the tree, or towards the tree.
Okay.
It also makes his hands, like, free to either claw and grab at the ground, or Jin's hand if he, like, stretches it out or something.
Okay. Jin?
Yeah.
Dex. I'm going to say you could argue acrobatics if you really wanted it.
Could I do athletics, or does it have to be acrobatics?
You could say athletics because this is kind of you have to run faster than it is pulling him.
Okay, it doesn't really matter to me either way, as it was technically the same roll, so...
Okay. Meepo, could I get a flat roll from you, please?
Just a flat roll, okay.
Just a flat roll.
Whoop.
Uh-oh.
On the upside, it passed.
Ooh.
It was a really low DC. But, as you get pulled forward, and you scrabble at the ground to, keep things from going more southwards, Finn reaches out and, grasps your wrist tightly and kind of yanks as you manage to also, grab onto him just to make sure you have a more secure hold.
Okay.
Kind of come flying back as Jin is basically fighting against the entirety of what was trying to pull you guys inward.
Oh no.
All of a sudden, there
A lot of
is
trouble, you damn lizard.
No, not trouble.
all of a sudden, as this occurs, there's a distinct trying to think of how to describe the sound. It's a very muffled, like, boom that sends out, like, this miniature shockwave,
Oh, jeez.
and everybody gets kind of ruffled by it. The woman stands, she dusts herself off, and is like, alright, I'm done. And then she turns around to you guys and is like, what the hell are you doing?
Improv breakdancing, but it didn't go well.
She raises an eyebrow at you and is like, yeah, alright, sure, whatever.
Damn lizard's a handful.
Yep. She walks to you all, looks at you all once again, and kind of just pushes past everybody, with the exception of Leafy, and whom she's a little bit nicer to.
Well,
It was a pleasure watching your purification.
No problem. She stops, responds, does not turn around, is like, no problem. If you need me, or if you think you can actually help me, name's Lana. And she keeps walking.
Meepo
Well,
that's
quietly
sure-
mumbles to himself, is your last name Sass? Lotta Sass?
It's Lana, Lana. But
Wow.
yeah,
Hold on, I want to roll something real quick.
well,
Sure.
that sure didn't get us any sap.
Okay. Do you mind if I do just a real quick backseat DM for just a second?
Sure.
Meepo, can you roll a perception roll, please?
Okay. Perception.
You just barely think you actually heard a chuckle from Jin.
Yeah.
And backseat DMing over.
That's fair. Let's see. As this goes on, you guys are suddenly reminded by Ryvearain's statement. Where in the heck are you supposed to get this sap?
Yeah, where are we actually supposed to go, you damn tiefling? Actually, I guess I'd probably be like, you damn drunkard.
I'm sorry, what now?
I guess I would be like, yeah, where the hell are we supposed to actually go, you damn drunkard?
Hakai looks at you guys and it's just kind of like, I mean, I did give you directions. We just took a really long detour. And he starts walking off.
Glad he's amused.
Oh, I suppose we should go back to our originally designated spot.
Yes. Before you guys leave, could everyone with a point of corruption please roll a perception check?
Alright.
Disadvantage or normal?
Normal.
Your eyesight does not affect this.
So
Jane is the only one who senses shit, apparently.
Jin and Ryvearain.
Yeah.
You two. Well, actually, no, I'll start with Meepo. Meepo, all of a sudden you realize that the air is moving. Everything feels lighter. And you're kind of like, wow. So that's the power of a purification ritual. Jin and Ryvearain. I'll start with Ryvearain. The air is moving, and things seem to have shifted back onto course. You're somewhat surprised, but you're still not quite hearing any of the creatures, which is maybe it takes longer before that comes into full effect. And Jin. Sorry, I'm thinking of how to word it. As you feel the energies as you feel around, you do notice that the energies have shifted back to being similar to the area that was before the clearing.
Oh, can I smell? Does it smell like the stuff again? Does it smell
You
like
do
the
smell
rainwater
something,
again?
actually.
Oh.
You do smell something. You smell something sweet and coiling. It's not familiar. It feels like it's mixed in with that fresh rainwater smell, but there's an interesting sweetness to it that you're not... It's so familiar that you could almost place it, but you're not quite sure you want to.
Interesting. Is it coming from the tree?
Not particularly. It's coming from the surrounding area.
Okay.
However, if you do bother to turn around and face the tree, you will notice it is stronger, and it becomes more easily identifiable what that scent is.
Okay. I turn around and take a look at the tree. I like to imagine like Meepo, like he's still technically holding onto Meepo's wrist, and Meepo's like, "Yeah, let's go," and then it stops because he tried to run too far forward.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So,
I like to
are
imagine
you-
that
Are you
you're
sticking
turning
with
around.
A stronger chocolate scent, huh? I'll probably let go of Meepo and I'll head closer to the tree.
it? Okay.
Leafy notices and turns around. Is something wrong, Jin?
Not sure. Does anything happen as he gets closer to the tree other than that smell increasing?
No. For the most part, things seem corrected. You wouldn't say there's anything wrong in particular. I just kind of regard you curiously and was like,
Well, Jin kind of shrugs. Then he decides to take out his water skin and pour a little bit of water onto the tree branches just to give it a little bit of life back, just see if it helps at all, and then he'll leave without really paying attention.
Does anyone actually have, like, nature?
I don't think so.
I mean, my nature is pretty good, but it's not like one of my main stats.
Oh, wait, conveniently I do. The guy just looks at you, looks at Jin with so much judgment, and it's like, you pour water on the roots, not the branches. Even an idiot
I said
knows this.
branches, didn't I? I meant to say roots. The word did not come out right. Oh well,
Well-
poured branches on the. I poured it on the branches now.
Leafy blushes to himself because he did not know that, even though he really should have after all of his studying.
Jin shrugs and says, "The water will get down to the roots."
You just see so much judgment from this tiefling for no apparent reason outside of the fact that, like, you're supposed to pour water on the roots, not the branches.
And of course, Jin gives no shits.
He never gives a shit. Anyways. But
The
yes.
That was the closest Jin could do to being nice. That was the literal closest thing.
Oh. The weird little, your weird little fungus buddy seems pretty upbeat as you guys leave the area of the clearing. They seem much happier as they're skipping along the ground, more willing to come closer to those that they shied away from before, but not too close. Just close enough that you notice it's a difference.
Well, looks like we made our friends happy.
Yay!
Yep.
Joy.
Wonder if we're going to give you anything by the end of this.
Sap time. Where's the sap?
Yep. As you guys eventually get back to where you started before you branched off, it runs up to Leafy. It and a bunch of its buddies run up to Leafy and start tugging at his pants legs, trying to draw him in a particular direction.
Why don't you all go ahead? I think that our little guardian creatures have something to show me.
Jin
Well, I'm kind of
shrugs
sitting on
and
your.
keeps moving then.
I'm kind of
Okay.
sitting on your shoulder.
Would you
Hi,
like to come
regards.
to? Would you like to come to Ryvearain?
I see no reason why not to. It would be riskier to attempt to move to someone else at this point.
Right, good point.
As you're being drawn away from the crowd, Hakai just kind of looks at you all as like, he gestures forward to keep going.
Okay.
We're conveniently heading in the same direction. We'll see when it branches off. But you guys continue like this for a couple minutes before they eventually start to diverge a little bit. And they diverge a little towards the left. You guys are actually headed a little bit towards the right. It's not even too far. You guys actually walk about another minute or two before you actually come across a tree that you can clearly tell has been used for its sap, as there is quite a few notches dug into it. It's very well cared for, but it is quite a notched up tree.
Okay. This is it. The sap tree. The tree of sap.
Yes.
The tree containing all of the sap that we need. The sap for the puppets. That sap?
Yes. I mean, you could also lick it.
Ooh! Meepo does.
Do you just lick the tree?
Evidently, that's exactly what Meepo does.
It's interestingly bitter.
I wonder how the sap tastes.
Your tongue is numb.
Interestingly bitter.
Your tongue
that's-
is numb. This might be cause for concern.
Oh no.
Oh no, the trees were dangerous.
Guys, my tongue is numb. What do I do?
I've never met someone to lick the tree. I didn't know it did that.
Something tells me this was a bad idea.
I'd give you a checkup, but
You're not there.
Oh wait, I'm not there.
Yeah,
Okay, can I try to do something?
you may if you would like.
I guess I can try medicine?
Sorry, what?
Jin is going to attempt medicine.
I guess.
Yep.
See if I can help.
Welcome to Jin's medicinal practice.
What are you gonna do? You're just gonna look at my tongue and go, yup, I can't tell anything's different.
Welcome to
You don't
Tim's
know-
medical
you don't
practice.
know.
Are you in pain?
Well-
Good.
It appears your tongue is numb. The only answer is
I
amputation.
was about to say that. Like the only reasonable choice, the only reasonable course of action is to remove it.
Welcome to Jin's medical practice. Are you in pain? Good.
I have no idea.
Meepo has an idea.
Well, as you look at it, you're like, maybe if we just scrape the top layer off,
That
it'll
sounds
work.
I just like grab myself.
That sounds painful.
Hold up, Jin. Hold up, buddy. No need to go cutting off the great messenger of the great chosen one's head. We can deal with this, buddy.
I wasn't intending to cut off his head, just his tongue.
I can't be a messenger if I don't have a tongue.
Oh, you can write.
I mean,
No, I can't. I'm 19 and I never learned how to read.
You have magic.
you actually see Hakai heavily debating this as you tell him that you're just cutting off Meepo's tongue, and he's like, wait, is that detrimental to you? Do you grow it back or no?
Yo, can I make a nature check on myself? Like, because lizards grow their tails back. Can I do that?
No, don't make that check. That's a bad decision.
I mean, you may, if you would
I'm
like.
not gonna be like, okay, here I go, and then break my tail. I'm gonna be like, did I learn anything in health class?
You may, if you would actually just make a flat roll.
Okay.
Did I learn anything? And
Oh
no! About shit.
Nope. What you did learn is you unfortunately have the one mutation that makes it so that you don't actually grow your tail back.
Aww.
No!
However, the upside is you do have the potential to just grow a very long tail. You're not sure if this is an actual upside, but there's
Are
the
you
potential.
kidding? That is the best!
I mean, hey, that means you can eventually just straight up become like a Chinese-style dragon maybe one day.
How long can my tail grow? Does it grow longer than me?
And now he's so
You
focused
ask the
on
voice
this.
in the sky. The voices in the sky regard you with contempt as they're like, I won't tell you anything.
No! Meepo falls to his knees, cursed with the blessing and the knowledge, and also a lack thereof.
Jin sees all this going on and decides he doesn't really want his sword touching Meepo's tongue.
Maybe the tree was a hallucinogen. Should we roll to see if like the bark specifically was, and Meepo's just imagining all of this?
You may if you would like. Hakai is just looking at you all very amused as he's just collecting sap behind you.
What should I roll for hallucinogen?
You could roll nature.
Okay.
Because we are technically trying to decipher this. You can also roll constitution.
Turns out Hakai didn't need any extra hands, he was just bored.
Pretty much.
I mean, no. There's like 10 buckets of sap.
You should probably
He
start
does
helping
need
him.
Yeah,
hands.
Jin is tired of Meepo's. Jin is tired of Meepo's. Whatever the hell he's doing, and he's like, you'll be fine with some bed rest, and then he goes and helps, goes to help Hakai.
How many hands do we have? We have what?
There's 5 of us.
Well, here's
Yep.
the thing: Aunt Leafy and
The 2 of them are
Ryvearain
gone.
not here.
Well, no. If they were here, how many hands would you have?
10.
But 2 of them are tiny.
Eight
This was an
and a
arbitrary
quarter.
number that I just rolled.
8 and a quarter.
Yerp. We're going to go hop over to Leafy and Ryvearain so that we can give them some attention. As you guys are being tugged and prodded away, you realize you have been led to a giant tree that you're pretty sure, like 99.9999% sure, was not there earlier, and should totally be seeable from the village, but you can't.
So it's really big, is what you're saying.
Yes, it is huge. It is humongous. There is no reason why no one would see this.
Well, that's I can't even see it, so I can't call it suspicious. Unless it's been 4 hours, which it might have been.
You know, it's been a while. It was a whole dang trip. You might as well see now.
Dang, that's highly suspicious.
You see just
You've
in time to
slowly
see the
been
dude.
regaining your sight, and then you finally see this tree.
Ah, Ryvearain, your sight has returned. I'm glad you can witness this beauty alongside me.
Are you sure my sight's returned right? I don't think that was there before.
Yes, I have not seen this tree before. It's highly suspicious.
Bless you all. Bless you all so much. As this goes down, you guys are being led closer and closer by your little throng of people, which has just slowly kind of increased and is slowly turning into a pile of, like, little people as they try to push you forward. It's
Yeah.
very adorable if it weren't so strange. As you come up to the tree, you actually realize there's an opening that's been cut into it, or a kind of hollow section. And there appears to be some kind of light coming from it. The critters around you all kind of crowd around, and they start indicating and pointing towards that little light.
I think they want us to go in there.
I mean, it's
Well-
not big enough. It's big enough for Ryvearain to fit,
Oh, I guess I should go in there then.
Alright.
if you want.
Would you like to go, my friend?
Maybe I can see if there's a way to get you inside the tree that is very big. I will attempt to go inside.
All right. As you attempt to go inside, you fit in fine. You pop in and you kind of realize, oh, that's kind of unexpected. There's an object in there. It's a lot larger than you. So I don't think you can pull it out, but there is an object in there.
That's unfortunate. Given the nature of this area, it's probably magic and immune to shrink. Unless it's not.
I mean, you could totally attempt.
Have we decided whether or not shrink can be undone yet?
Potato.
We decided that last session, yeah.
What was the answer?
The answer was yes, you can unshrink.
Okay. I would like to attempt to shrink this so I can retrieve it.
Okay. I'm going to roll a success on that. You do manage to successfully retrieve it. It was originally a foot long. It is now about your equivalent of 1 foot.
Okay, so that's not too long. It's like...
A centimeter.
What? No.
2 centimeters.
That's not how that works. It's like the length of like half of my arm, I guess. Probably. Yeah. Alright, I'd like to bring it back to Leafy so that he can actually inspect the object. And like I'll unshrink it for him.
Okay. Leafy, do you take the object before Ryvearain unshrinks it?
Yes.
Okay. As you unshrink it, you realize it's a 1 foot pole or stick of some kind. And the little mushroom critters seem really not helpful in any attempts that they might be doing to explaining what it is. The most you get is them stacking themselves on top of each other to create a very large tower, and then tumbling back down only to do it again. Which you think means something, but at the same time you also have no idea what they're saying, because they're also just clicking and rattling at you.
Could Leafy do some sort of check to figure out what the stick might be?
Can you Arcana?
I can Arcana.
Do you want to Arcana?
I will attempt to Arcana.
Okay.
No, not that's the disadvantage. Just fine.
Okay, well, it's a magic stick.
Okay.
That's all you get from it. It's magic. It's magic. It does a thing. Yeah, but that's all you can think of.
Perhaps. Well.
Interesting. Can Leafy kind of play around with it a little bit to see if he can figure out what it does?
Try swinging it.
Yes, Leafy tries to swing it.
I mean, to get you swing it.
Okay. Wait, if they're standing up in like the shape of a tower, maybe we should like place it on the ground.
Okay.
And on like vertically, so that it's a pole pointing up.
Okay. You did it.
What if Leafy puts a foot on it and applies some pressure?
It sinks into the ground slightly.
Well, it appears to be a normal, ordinary magic pole.
The creatures around you are becoming more concerned as they try to do something to communicate. One of them is kind of making that, you know how kids make that motion of, like, they throw both their hands up and they stretch out to indicate things are growing?
Growing?
Oh, I think I know what that is.
So they start doing that motion around it, as if they are trying to make it grow taller. Is the weird little thing that your little mushroom friends are trying to do.
I don't really know what it is.
Ryvearain. Would it be okay if I tried touching you with this wand?
Wand?
Or
well,
magic stick?
Well, I can't imagine anything bad happening when you touch me with a magic stick of unknown origins. So why not?
You are reckless.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my impulses in.
Lee picks up the stick and taps Ryvearain on the shoulder.
You know, you got booped.
Wow.
Over the course of this, we have managed to fill about 5 buckets of sap. Meepo is still trying to figure out if he's hallucinating or not. No conclusion has been reached yet.
Can I make a constitution save to see if I'm still...
Yes, you may.
Okay.
If.
Maybe I should make a medicine to see if I am hallucinating? Or if
You
I'm just
could.
an idiot.
You could make both.
Well,
you have no
I
idea.
could just be an idiot. Alright, I guess I have no idea what's happening as per usual, but let's see if it stops. Oh.
Hey.
So, your constitution finally kicks in and is like, yeah, that nummy on your tongue is gone.
Yay!
As for everything else you're staring at and you're heavily contemplating, I wonder what that was. As this is occurring, Hakai also manages to, break off a chunk of bark and is like, you want to keep this? He looks at it as if it wasn't intentional, but he holds it out as like, you want to keep this for any reason?
Meepo is a hoarder. Meepo is
I
offered
mean-
something, he keeps it.
Yeah.
It
I
does
guess I'll-
have perceived value of some kind.
I will take it.
Okay. He hands it to you. Back with the other two. Have you decided what else you want to do with this magic stick?
What do we do with the magic stick? What if we tapped it against the tree?
You could try
Worth a
Okay.
try.
You could try attuning to the thing.
I don't know what attuning means.
It basically, well, it takes a while. You basically have to spend an hour focusing on it and trying to attune yourself with it. If it costs an attunement slot, then you will automatically attune to it, and then you automatically know what it is.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know how else to explain that.
Smartest member of the party doesn't know shit.
As Ryvearain is contemplating this, Leafy is tapping the magical stick against the tree mindlessly.
So to get this straight from what I hear is you tap it against the tree to see if it does anything.
Yes.
As you tap it against the tree, your little mushroom friends are once again trying to at least communicate something to you. And it seems to be like one of them actually has put its hands in front of it. It doesn't really have enough. The spots aren't in the right shape to be a face, but you kind of realize what it's trying to do. It's just kind of taking its hands and like clapping them together at the tips.
What if we tried to like touch both ends of the staff at the same time?
Well, let's try it. Leafy tried
Okay.
it.
It's going.
Well,
It's there.
The greatest thing is I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I can't say it.
I mean,
I don't know what it is.
It's more entertaining to see you two try to fuck around and figure out what it is.
Do I know what the fuck attunement is?
yes, you know what attunement is.
It's something any character should have basic knowledge of doing.
Can
Is
I?
it possible for him to just try another Arcana check to see if after fucking around with it he has a brilliant revelation?
I mean, you
Already-
can keep going.
I mean,
I'm not gonna stop you.
I already did
I
an
would like to
Arcana
inform you we have like 6 buckets of sap.
Can I attune while to the thing while Leafy takes me back to the rest of them?
Yes, but I will, however, tell you once you start attempting to attune, you realize that you cannot actually attune to it.
Oh,
Okay, so that doesn't work.
okay, that's not gonna work then.
Well, I think that we've reached our limit for ideas for now.
We
How
may
about we take this magical stick back to the others and see if they have any ideas?
Yeah, they might have some better ideas than us.
Before leaving, Leafy turns to the forest creatures and bows to them. Thank you very much for this gift. We will learn how to use it, I assure you.
They kind of click and rattle at you. A bunch of them are kind of surrounding your legs as you try to leave.
Okay, they really don't want us to leave. Maybe we shouldn't leave with the stick.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Let's
part
say-
easily as you go. They're just kind of surrounding your legs.
Okay. What if we promise to bring it back? Tiny mushroom men. What if we promise to bring it back once we know what it does?
There's more clicks and rattles. You get the distinct feeling that they don't really understand what you're saying. They're just kind of vaguely familiar with what you say.
I'll take that as a positive sign.
But they don't part. They're just kind of there surrounding you.
I really think we're going to need some help for this.
I mean, you guys can keep going. They're not stopping you from leaving. They're just surrounding you.
Let's
Yeah.
go find our friends and see if they have any ideas.
Yes, let's make like that tree over there and leave.
What are you talking about? It hasn't gone anywhere.
Good point. But either way, we need help.
Yeah.
Alright. As you guys walk a little bit away, if you were to turn around, you would notice that the tree is actually gone.
We did not, though.
You did not, but if you did, this is for your information. Back with the other people. Meepo, how you doing over there? Have you decided to join in the sap collecting?
I would love to. I would love nothing more.
Okay.
I mean, we've got 10 buckets. I guess I'll just try very hard to carry 2 of them.
Well,
I
we're not
mean,
done
you
collecting
could.
them yet.
Oh, we're not done collecting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got ways to transport it other than just us, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'll help with collecting sap. Can I lick some of that to see if the same effect happens?
You may.
Oh
I do.
my god.
Okay. As you do this, you feel a very warm tingling sensation. As you lick, as it kind of travels down your throat and into your esophagus. After this, you immediately realize this burns. This burns a lot. This is not okay.
Maybe you
Also,
should stop.
why is my tail growing longer? Why am I growing more hair, more fur? What is going on?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
That's not sap.
What is going on? What? And then, like, even worse, it's like there's a tingling sensation. And you're beginning to question, was this a good idea or not? Hakai is looking at you like, that's the first time I've seen someone do that.
Can I make some sort of like, I don't know, arcana or nature check or something to see if I know what the hell that stuff is?
Sure.
It burns us!
What am I rolling?
You would be rolling nature or survival. The only thing is you'd probably have to lick it too.
Ah, fuck it, why not?
Why not? You're already fucked up anyways.
I'm just like, I don't give a shit. What is this shit? I take a lick.
Alright.
I take a lick, face whatever side effects happen, and I see what it is, and see if I can know what it is.
You feel all of the same sensations of it tingling as it goes down, and then all of a sudden burning, and then all of a sudden your hair is growing like crazy. Your beard is now down to like your knees, and
Do
like
I just start growing hair like all around me, kind of like when I transform?
yeah.
And I'm like, huh, that's pleasant.
The unfortunate thing is you probably would have to shave all of this off.
Yeah.
It's very much a razor type deal. Meepo is slowly turning into cousin it over there.
Oh, I thought this was
I was
I
a
thought
hallucination. No.
Bless you.
I thought this was a hallucination, not a weird bad hair day.
No.
Uh-huh.
Hakai is very shocked and it does not really know what to do there. It's like, why did both of you like that?
It was
Anyways, I rolled a 19 on survival.
What is it?
Okay. So, what you managed to figure out is whatever weird tree this is apparently has been slightly magicked to have an accelerated growth ability of some kind.
That's probably what allows it to create sap so much.
You would guess, but apparently this is why it's so special to whoever this puppeteer is, as one, it's a very stable source of sap, and two, it seems this sap has more than just one use.
I point this out. I point out what it does, basically. I just say it out loud once I figure it out.
Does anyone have any reaction to this? Because if not, I'll toss Hakai's in.
The only other one here is Meepo still. The others haven't come back yet.
I'll have them. You guys actually come in right as Jin starts licking the sap.
Oh wow, you found the hair tree.
You know, the old scriptures used to talk about these hair trees.
Did they? Did they really?
They did not, but he thinks they did.
Oh,
He does tend to misquote things, so.
he does, but nonetheless, it would be interesting if they did. Hakai does look at you guys. It's like, what the? Now I want in on this.
And I say, well, you know what
Ryvearain-
now, so.
Ryvearain turns to Leafy and says, "Please remind me not to fall in the sap."
By the way, what's that staff you're carrying?
I don't know. We can't figure it out.
Oh, the Guardians of the Forest gave us a magical stick. And Jin, I thought you, for some reason, might have a specialized knowledge of sticks.
Oh, okay, can I roll I'm going to ignore that comment. Can I roll Arcana?
Okay, sure. Why?
Do I know what the stick is?
You look at the stick. You observe the stick. You realize it is a magical stick.
I can't believe
It is a
it.
magic stick.
Wait a minute.
Have you tried talking?
Have you tried what now?
Talking to it.
No. I guess I will now. Thanks, voice from the heavens.
You're welcome.
And I'm just like, you're staff of the forest. Does that mean you can talk?
It does not respond.
Okay, well.
What if Leafy tries talking to it?
Okay.
Hello, stick.
This is the good question. Ryvearain, do you have the identify spell?
I think that's level 3.
What are you telling
No,
me?
it's not. It's a level 1 spell.
Is
What are you
it?
ta-
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell. I know it is.
Okay.
Are you talking to me? I
Yes,
could make
do you-
friends with the stick.
I'm asking
Oh, no.
if you have the identify spell.
No, why would I have the identify spell?
Because you're a wizard!
I didn't. Nobody told me to have it. I can suggest the stick to do something.
Oh my god.
Nobody told me that would be useful.
As this is going
I should
on.
have known not to assume that you would have taken that spell.
I didn't even know it existed.
Meepo, do you happen to have the identify spell?
Do I happen to have what?
The identify.
Identify. You're not gonna believe this, but no.
Where's Token when you need him?
I could
In another universe.
I could try to sense the emotions of the stick.
Oh my god.
Would you like me to
Okay.
try to sense the emotions of the stick?
Oh.
Yeah, that's something.
If you want, I can also help by commanding the stick.
You can command the stick?
I
Was
can
that-
command the stick.
Was that
I would
Hakai?
like-
Hmm?
Was that Hakai
No.
who said that out of curiosity?
Yes.
Okay, I thought
I would
so.
I would like to yell grow at the stick.
And it does!
Holy shit!
It grows to be
Yeah.
10 feet long.
That's a huge stick.
That's a
Meepo
big
says,
stick.
pointing up at it. Basically a pile of matted fur.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. We can expand stick.
Yes.
How is this useful?
I'm not sure.
I mean-
Let's see if it can go the other way. Retract stick.
It stays its length.
Oh.
What if I said shrink to it?
It does shrink to being
Okay.
1 foot.
Okay. So we have 2 commands.
You know,
Maybe
we
there's
could stick all the buckets on that.
Oh shit, we could put all the buckets on that. That's a good idea. That means I won't have to carry anything.
dipstick like cookie. Maybe it'll have an effect.
Oh my god.
What?
Never mind.
Oh.
So,
Just a bad idea.
so the stick.
If we
Oh.
did,
The stick is basically a power pole.
yeah.
That's what I figured when I first heard it. I just didn't know how to make it work. Which is why I figured swinging would cause it to grow.
Well,
I'm,
welcome to vague-ass descriptions of magic items.
what was the command you used to make it grow?
Oh,
Grow.
it grew again to 10 feet.
Okay, shrink. I want to
It
test
is now
something.
back to 1 foot.
I want to test something. I grab like the top of the stick, and then I say grow to see what happens. To see if it makes me go upwards or not.
It grows downward until it touches the ground. So that's about, what, 4 feet?
Oh, okay, so that's how it
4 or
works.
5 feet? I don't know how far you're holding it from the ground.
I mean, I was imagining I was holding it on the ground with like my hand on the top of it.
Oh, then no, it does not move.
Okay. Well, hey, I guess now we have an easy to carry magic 10-foot pole for when we're in the ceilings of when there's ceilings to dungeons that we can poke with the stick. Watch out for those slimes hiding on the ceilings.
What if we used it to like poke monsters that are sleeping?
You
Or,
know,
like steal keys from prison. Wait, no, we wouldn't end up in a prison. We're good guys.
I do have a question for you. Can it be smaller than 10 feet?
What did you say?
Can it be smaller than 10 feet? 10 feet's a little excessive.
Grow to 6 feet.
And surprisingly, it does.
Wow.
So it's about as tall as Jin.
I wonder if 10 is the maximum. Grow to maximum height.
It adds another 4.
Okay, so 10 is the maximum. Shrink back to
Well,
6, I guess.
Boink! It's back to 6.
There we go. With a long fucking stick.
Well, I'm sure it's useful.
So, who's a strong person in our party?
I'm pretty
Absolutely
sure that's
not me.
So, are you carrying all of the stick and sap?
I guess so. Strength 18.
I guess so.
We'll put
Thinks
all that-
about this harder. Is like, are you sure you want to go back to a village like that?
Cover? Oh, you mean covered in hair?
Yes.
Well, we do have a bunch of knives here,
That's.
but I don't think we have any scissors.
I probably do want to try to cut some of this like basically fur.
Yeah.
Probably
Should we try
not.
to shave? Should we try
We
to
should-
shave them?
Oh jeez.
Do you guys want to be shaved?
I think Jin is just gonna take a razor or something and try to shave himself rather than get help from the others.
Okay. Meepo?
Meebo is enjoying the fact that he's soft, fuzzy, and has the longest tail. But he has a sneaking suspicion that this isn't going to last very long.
I mean... Okay.
I guess he'll just wait until people yell at him.
Okay. So, we load up the buckets onto the pole as Jin takes care of his issue.
Get rid of some of this fur.
Yep. And are you guys ready to head back?
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Very good. As you guys return to the village, you actually see that the village elder has come out to greet you and is like, where in the heck have you guys been? It's been like half the day.
Sap collecting.
So it's
Sack
basically
collect?
around 4 in the afternoon right about now. But upon learning this, you now realize you have about another 5 hours or so in order to memorize your scripts.
Oh, shit.
Nice. Who all got their roles accepted, by the way?
We have Ryvearain and Meepo.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Jin, you were passed over because you divided the judges too much.
Players are disappointed. Jin does not care.
That's okay. You can still be our stagehand. No, you can't. You haven't been hired.
Aww.
Jin goes off the train.
I mean, are you going to go off to train? Do you really want to go off to train? There is a festival in town.
There's a festival in town. You could test your strength against the strong.
You can. You can also race in the Dragon Boat Festival. By the way, you guys do manage to deliver this to the puppeteer who needed it, and he pays you about 3 silver each.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yay.
I enjoy money.
Which one is silver? Is that the one below bronze?
Yeah.
Copper.
Yeah, it's below copper.
So it'd be SP.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
What's an AP then?
I don't know. I've never
AP
seen
is
that used.
Electrum.
Oh, Electrum is not used that often.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
it's-
going to assume the ones that I had accidentally put in there were actually silver pieces.
Probably.
More than
Okay.
likely. I think Electrum is used in spellcasting.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as this goes on, you guys have about 5 hours to memorize your scripts, unless you want to see how quickly you can commit them to memory.
I mean, let's just. I guess we'll just start working on the scripts personally.
Okay. So, how time's going to break down, since this is about 4 in the evening, is at 5, the festival starts in full swing.
Okay.
And then at 9, you guys obviously have your play. So you have about 4 hours in between for the rest of the party, or if you guys want, depending on how you deal with the script thing, to go off and experience the festival.
Okay.
If you want to try to see if you can memorize it extremely quickly, this would be a every 30 minutes. You can make 2 rolls, which is going to be wisdom and intelligence, and it needs to average 10.
Okay. Oh, wait. Meepo can't fit in the costume if he's a fluff ball.
Oh,
No. You're gonna have
Meepo's
to.
gonna have to, like. He's gonna have to get sheared like a sheep. He's gonna need He's gonna need not just a haircut, but all of them.
hey, you know who conveniently owns sheep in the party?
Upon remembering that he's got a role to play, Hakai just kind of sees a white
Hakai?
fluff ball. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hakai just kind of sees the white fluff ball mass that is Meepo kind of shuffle up to him. And there's some kind of movement in the fur, which you realize after a second is his arm kind of gently reaching out of the mass of, like, hair. and he kind of gently tugs on Hakai's clothes, and you just hear a muffled, Hakai, can I have some help?
Of course! What do you need help with?
So you know how you have sheep, right?
Yes?
They gotta get their hairs cut sometimes, right?
Yes?
I need some of my hairs cut too.
Do you have a particular look in mind?
Presumably not sheep.
Not
Mullet.
sheep. Okay.
No, can
Hmm?
Richard just gave me a brilliant idea. Can Meepo get like a sick, like full body mullet? Or not mullet, mohawk?
Full body mohawk.
Sure.
You said mullet.
I did not say mullet.
Yes, you did.
No,
You know
mullets.
what? Let's see how well Hakai understands these instructions. Ooh.
It's a little early for you to have a midlife crisis.
Hakai does not understand the concept of a mohawk, a mullet. He does understand the concept of a mohawk. Have you guys seen Genya from Demon Slayer?
I'm looking him up right now.
I've seen
Okay.
Demon Slayer, but I don't think I've seen that character.
He's probably in like season 2. Well, he shows up literally for a hot second in season 1.
Oh yeah, that
and then
guy.
never shows up
That
again.
angry boy in the title sequence.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen.
you end up with something reminiscent of Genya's haircut. The only thing is apparently he took the liberty to dye you different colors as he was doing this. Why? We won't know. But you now have an interesting green and white pattern running down the back. So where your spinal ridge would be onto like the back of the tail, because
Yeah.
he kept that section kind of long to keep up the quote-unquote mohawk look.
Yo!
You now have an interesting one section green, then white, then green, then white, then green, then white, with most of your tail being bright blue.
Yo!
Interesting.
Depending on what the secret reasoning for this, like, patterning is, this is cool as hell.
He just didn't really understand the instructions well, and this is what he normally does to his sheep.
Oh,
He dyes them green and blue and...
He dyes them random colors so that he knows that they're his.
Oh. This is awesome!
So, congratulations, you are now considered part of the sheep herd in which he keeps.
congratulations. You just earned a bunch of fuzz from the great Meepo.
Oh no. Don't remind him.
He could probably, like, considering how much everyone loves Meepo, and how much just, like, here's a fur for you. Considering how well that's been, he could probably sell a lot of it.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's why I said don't remind him.
The
Which
fur
is
mark.
why Meepo says, hey, thanks. Hey, if it's alright, it's kind of weird to have this much hair of me. Can I keep it? It's probably, like, good for a pillow or something, right?
I mean, I could make it into a pillow if you want.
And maybe a sweater. Do you know how to knit?
I know how to make a lot of things.
Ooh, I have.
Let me just get this clear. Meepo wants a sweater made of his own fur.
What?
You
You cut out
I said,
completely.
let's just be clear on this. You said Meepo wants a sweater made out of his own fur.
Would you
Well,
not?
because he'll be cold without it right now.
Okay.
It's
You don't want a sweater made out of your own fur?
No.
well, it's a good thing that you don't have fur then.
Briefly, you had the experience. However brief it was. But, that's hilarious. But yes, you've been indoctrinated into the flock. If you ever come across any of Hakai's sheep, they are like 2% more friendly to you.
Yay! In sheep terms, that's a lot. Probably.
Totally.
Meepo got new title. Sheep.
Oh no.
Cheapo.
New achievement unlocked. Sheep brethren. Oh yeah,
Alright.
sheep
Have
works.
this title equipped to gain a +2 percentage to friendliness with sheep and fur growth.
Alright, should we get cracking on these scripts?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so what are the rules on us memorizing these scripts again?
So it's a wisdom and intelligence roll. They need to average together to make 10.
Okay. Wisdom
It's-
and intelligence. I should be good at this. Let's go.
Yeah, it should be simple.
Hey!
Well, that definitely averages a 10.
Well, Ryvearain got
Everyone
got
got
theirs
it in 30
down.
minutes.
Yep.
Everyone memorized it in literally 30 minutes.
I am a wizard. I've done a lot of reading, presumably.
Presumably. Wait a second. Meepo,
Mhm.
didn't you say that you can't read or write?
Oh no!
As a
Am I-
joke? I mean, he did read the script earlier.
Okay, I had to check because you've mentioned this offhanded several times as I think about this.
That's true. Maybe Meepo knows scripts in his heart.
How about this?
How about I
Specifically,
read it to you?
you could just lie about the fact that you cannot read or write when in actuality you can.
Maybe I do it so that way no one ever tells me to read anything that I don't want to read.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Nobody else has noticed this yet, unless we want to roll insight.
No.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest, Jin just doesn't care.
That's fair.
I mean, Jin probably noticed, but just doesn't give a shit. Just like,
Maybe.
whatever.
But Meepo, please. Thy rolls.
Yes. For.
Intelligence and wisdom. Do your best.
Oh boy.
You can do it.
Intelligence and wisdom. Oh, hey, that averages out to. No, just.
9.5.
Oh no.
So close.
Gonna need another 30 minutes on this.
Alright.
So everybody
Half an hour
else,
later.
you guys.
I mean, the festival hasn't started yet, right? So it's still another half an hour. Like, it's after this half hour next that the festival starts, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to do anything while you were waiting, or are you going to attempt to help Meepo?
Question. Does Leafy have to do anything to help prepare for the play? 'Cause he's still a stagehand, right? Or is his job done?
Well, do you want to learn the stage direction cue so you don't need to read them off the paper?
Yeah.
Okay, same rules apply.
Okay. Intelligence and wisdom.
You did it.
You did it. Yay!
Ta-da!
Whoop.
What's Jin doing?
Sharpening his sword.
For half an hour?
He probably just leaves and starts wandering down. In all honesty.
I'm sorry, repeat, you cut out a little bit on my end.
I said he probably just gets bored because there's not much to do and just like kind of leaves to wander town.
Alright. So,
Because he has nothing to memorize.
As you are wandering around town, you actually do see the start of what's going to be at the festival. You notice a lot of merchants, definitely a lot of merchants. There's a boat racing sign up. There's a archery competition of some sort, a couple shooting ranges, and a roulette of sorts. If you really want to test your luck, there's a 50 gold potential jackpot.
I see.
But those are all that you kind of make note of at this current point in time.
Okay.
Though, however, could I get a perception check from you?
Sure. This is just me looking around, right?
Yeah.
Man. I'm half absent. I'm absent-mindedly walking around.
It's not a particularly high roll. You actually notice one of the stands bears a very familiar symbol that you saw earlier today.
I turn around.
No one's there, but you do realize, you do recognize it.
I make a mental note of that and move on.
That's fair. Going back to the other people, do you guys want to go for take two?
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
anybody help out Meepo?
Yeah, since Leafy would like to help out Neepo.
All right. I guess that.
Ryvearain would like to help out their stage mate.
I guess that's a +2 to both of your rolls.
Okay. I'll just click on both of them and we'll manually add.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Intelligence and wisdom.
All right, +2 to both
7
of
and
those.
16. That's enough.
I believe that.
Yeah, that just barely does it because
Yeah.
it was going to be 9.5, and now it's 11.5.
Well, 7 plus 16 is over 20, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So divided by 2 is definitely over the 10. So there you go.
It's 10.5.
It was the same rolls as before, but reversed.
Yep. Wow. That is some interesting luck there. You do manage to make it within an hour. You both have your scripts down pat. You might get a little shaky where it gets really into the rhyme scheme of things, but you should be fine.
We're fine. I want to check out the carnival. The carnival's in town.
It's a festival, but yes!
You're right.
So, you guys eventually start to wander into the streets. The sun's just gone down, so it's sinking below the horizon as everybody starts to get ready for fun and games. Do you want to wrap it up here or continue on?
Well, it's midnight here, so
Yeah, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours now. So
we'll have to make this a part 2.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up here for tonight.
Yerpity-yerp. All right.
All right.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you again, hopefully next week.
We'll see.